Good afternoon, traders. It's about 3 minutes until the market closes. I'm going to look for some aftermarket trades to take if there are any. And I still have GLSI up because I did make a video about it. I didn't trade it, but I guess the video's going kind of crazy. It's over 150 views already in the first half an hour. And just kind of, give my thoughts on it because I know a lot of people, including some members of my channel, are feeling FOMO for not catching this move. But man, these stocks are crazy, and they're just as easily as you can make a lot of money, you can lose it. Look at this thing, went up to about $160, and then 1, 2, 3. I know there was some halts on the way down there, but 3 1-minute candles later, it's down $50, down over 100, almost $110. So I'm sure there were lots of shorts that got killed, probably blew up their accounts on the way up here. And then, a lot of long holders and bag holders and long traders got killed on the way back down. So these things are crazy. So definitely not concerned about not being in that stock. So we're going to see what we get in the aftermarket. I don't really care what GLSI does in the aftermarket. I'm not going to go anywhere near that thing. Way too sketchy. So starting the videos a few minutes early. I'll always put the timestamps down below, but I just like to start them more than a minute or so early because then it gives me some time to collect my thoughts and keeps me from jumping into trades too quickly. So basically, I'm going to be looking for the after hours top gainers that are in my price range that have volume. And that's a little bit tricky to do because what I like to do in the pre-market and during the day is organize the list by volume. So I get it open here. Of course, this is after hours from yesterday, but these are some stocks that are still trading today. That's why you see things moving. But when you organize after hours by volume, you're actually getting the volume from the day. So it doesn't really help. There might be no volume there whatsoever in the aftermarket, but it could be like the number one on the list volume-wise. So for after hours, I don't do that. For after hours, I just organize it by percent change. But you should see when 401, I guess, pops around, you're going to see instead of just percent change, it'll say percent change and then after hours in parentheses. So we got about 10 seconds here. And I always have my laptop open with the same exact page up because for whatever reason, even after a fresh restart on my desktop, sometimes the desktop doesn't refresh, the list doesn't refresh right away at 4, and other times it's my laptop that doesn't. So that's my backup. There we go. So again, my the first thing that switched here was my desktop, but we still don't have after hours up. All right, so on my laptop, I see UTSI. I need to check, crap, I didn't mean to do that. UTSI, try to get it on my aftermarket watch list. Need to check the float size before I even consider trading it. It's up pretty big there. Let's see, the float is good. So let's see if we can get an entry here. Because otherwise this thing could just be like a pump and dump. So I want to see the second candle open lower than the high of the first, and then if it breaks just like that, there we go. If it breaks, then I now have a stop loss right here. Fortunately, I got a ton of slippage on that. So let me take some out. I got a crap fill there. Take a little more out there just because. Let's see if I can get the 216, something like that. Yeah, that's the only problem with doing these front side trades is sometimes you catch a ton of slippage there. And now I'm gonna commit to selling the rest if my entry gets hit. I might sell half again just because I got such a high fill. Yeah, let me sell half again because that's still like a 33-cent gain. And now I will sit on the rest. You can make money off of 3 shares. especially when these things, they can move so much. But if it comes back down to my entry, I'm going to get out. So this is like serious cowboy trading, if there ever was such a thing, jumping in on the front side. But I do like to do it when it's coming out of consolidation like this. I would never do something like this, like on that GLSI stock, because that thing was crazy. I'm tempted to go over to my trade page, but this thing just moves so quickly. I'm afraid to. I feel like I might miss it if it dumps on me or something. But I'm just going to ride this one out as far as I can. I might sell the rest at the break of a 1 minute candle. These are fun trades to do, but they're definitely risky. My stop is like almost 30 cents, which I didn't want, but I got, I caught a lot of slippage on the way up. But a lot of times that slippage is a sign of really good strength in the price of the stock. So I wouldn't recommend any beginners to trade like this. This is pretty aggressive trading. If I sell half again, it's only going to sell one share, so it'd be like 70-cent gain. Yeah, in hindsight, you're thinking, like, well, why did you sell so quickly? But yeah, I mean, these things move so fast, and you just don't know what's going to happen. In my entry, like I said, I got a lot of slippage there. So if it breaks the low of this candle, I'm going to sell one more share and see if it pops back up. And if it doesn't, I might get out. So if I see 254, I'm going to sell half again. But it looks like it's going to continue further. So this is a nice little after hours trade. Would have been a lot nicer if I would have held more shares, but that was just not a great entry. The setup was there, but I guess just because the stock was just moving so fast that I caught all that slippage. So if you see 254, okay, that's good. That's a good sign. More buyers coming in. Just gonna sell one more there, if it lets me. It should execute. Should execute anything higher than where my limit order is. It's kind of weird. That's really weird. Let me see if I move it closer. Okay, yeah, so it must have sold. There's something going on, with the, sometimes that happens, like there's a graphical issue or something like that. And you can always tell, like if you try to cancel the order or move it and it doesn't let you, then that's a good sign that there's just something going on graphically with the software. I'm still looking at like 258 now to get out. I don't like to hold. I mean, you could hold something like this overnight and maybe catch a big run in the pre-market, but I just, I'm a day trader through and through, and I don't like to hold stuff overnight. I've done it a couple times, but it's always in the back of my mind, and it's not for me. I'd rather get in and get out, get my profit. So I already feel like I've been in this trade a long time. For me, this is a long time. So I'm looking for 258 to get out. That's where I'll consider it failed. I mean, I guess I could always sell. Maybe a better idea would be to sell one more share at the 258, and then I hold the one all the way down to my entry. Whoops, I just hit the wrong keystrokes. So I'll try that. We'll see what happens here. So I took one more share off, so I only have one share left. So the nice thing about that is I don't really feel bad if it comes all the way back down to my my stop. I'm losing, if it does that, I'm losing about 60 cents or so. But if the thing goes much higher, you know, I still have one share, so I could always add one more average in if it breaks like the 285 level. But if this thing just kind of chops around here, I'll probably just sell the other share. Nice thing about commission-free brokers, every time I hit the sell button, the only thing I pay is a 2-cent fee, you know, government fee. I don't have to pay any commissions or anything like that. So I could smash that sell button as many times as I want to and not really rack up any losses from it. I mean, maybe altogether 10 or 12 cents because I probably hit it 4 to 6 times. I lost track. But nothing like on these pay brokers. So this is looking pretty good here. So someone was asking me about support and resistance. You could definitely make a case for some support here around this area. Support isn't very definite. It's kind of like more an area, but you know, it's fine to just mark out an area, or sorry, a specific price. Usually you want to do it where like 2 candles are touching the same price, but this is close enough. These aren't exact. And support and resistance areas are not exact either. So you can argue that if this thing breaks this 256 level, that that support area has been broken. It's no longer a support area, and the stock has gotten weak, and it's selling off, and that could be a reason to get out. But you know, I'm debating. It depends on how long this thing goes, because you know, I don't like to just sit here and watch these things go up and down. Like, probably going to get out. If I see 255, I'll get out. Give it one last chance to bounce. If it doesn't, I'm going to bounce. So you see it's touching that support. Now you got 2 candles that touch that exact price. So that's definitely an area of support. But if it's broken, it is not. And that's, you know, other buyers are looking at that, so as well as shorts for areas to buy or sell. If it breaks that level, I guarantee you some shorts are going to come in and the price will start moving down. But if it just keeps touching that, this is like a double bottom, which is a nice setup for buyers. And then if it starts breaking over the top of these candles, that's a really good sign for more upside to this thing. Still on the watch list page. So, but this is good. I need to get comfortable with this because I do like to trade off of the watch list page during the open because I'll have a bunch of stocks up. So my ideal entry was actually 179, and that's why I kind of freaked out and started selling a bunch of shares out there because you know, I wanted to have a nice tight stop. So if I would have got in at 179 and the low, this is 172, that's a 7-cent stop. So to get 2R is pretty easy there. It would have been 14 cents. But I wasn't about to try to get 2R from this level, although it looks like it did it once again. But yeah, it definitely did it. There's no doubt about it. But I just don't think I'm ever going to be able to hold 2R when I get some kind of crazy slippage like that on the way up. I just don't see myself doing it. I mean, that's like 20 cents a slippage almost. That's pretty big. And I'm sure I had, like, I don't know how many shares I had, like 14 or 15 shares. So 20 cents a slippage, that's a lot. That's like $4 just in slippage. You know, my good trades are like $3 or $4, so that's a lot. Because I'm only trading 8% of this account, and right now it's about $500, so that's like $40 per trade. So if I make $4, that's 10%. That's a huge return. I don't think I've quite hit it. I think I hit 375 earlier. So, but still working on this 2R strategy. This thing looks like it's consolidating. All the volume is leaving. I'm not too hopeful for this stock to go any higher. It's probably going to sell off. Plus, it's been almost 15 minutes. You know, after I've been in a session for 15 minutes, I start getting pretty tired of it. I find the longer that I'm looking at the charts, the more likely I am to do something stupid. So I've kind of made that a rule for me. If I haven't found, of course, here I'm in a trade, so it's a little different. But if I haven't found anything, you know, 15 minutes after the session, then I just get out. That doesn't mean, like, you know, the open is a little different because sometimes it takes time for things to settle down. And if I see a pattern forming, you know, that say it starts forming at like 9:45 or something like that, 9:40, and you know, my rule is like, oh, if I don't see anything by 9:45, get out. But if I'm already looking at a pattern forming, then, you know, I might stay and take an entry on that. But I used to stay till, here we go. I think it's time to go. I used to stay till, you know, like 10:30 or 11, and I found that if I didn't see things right away, that I was much more tempted to just take a random trade the longer that I sat in the market. So what is this? UTSI. Let's go see what we made on it. Remember that, you know, that's about a $40 trade, so keep that in perspective. I was red on the day before this trade, like $1.10, so I think I made over $4 on that, so it was over a 10% return. It's a great trade for me. I mean, again, I would love to just hold it to 2R, but on that one, I don't feel bad about selling out early because, yeah, $4.41. And let's see how much that trade costs. So I had 20 shares, actually. Yeah, unfortunately, my first fill for selling sucked. It was only 5 cents, but yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, so $39.40. And let's, whoops, go back to the so that was an 11% return off of the 11.2% return off of that investment. So that's pretty awesome. I don't think I've ever hit 11%. So yeah, I'm a pretty conservative trader, and I haven't been trading. I haven't been doing the 2R thing for very long, so I might hit numbers like that more often now. Although this wasn't an example of 2R, so don't look at it for that. But like I said, with all that slippage, there was no way I was about to hold all those shares or hold it to 2R. So as soon as I saw a little profit, I started scaling out just because of all that slippage. So, all right, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Ending the day green with, it looks like $3.11 profit. The week looks better than it is. I'll have to pull up my spreadsheet in a minute. But, yeah, this basically, if you subtract about $2, you'll see where I'm at for the week in reality, because this OBLN was something I was holding from Friday, and I only sold it for like a 20-cent profit or something like that. So for whatever reason, when you hold stuff overnight and then you sell it the next day, it really throws off the P&L. So this isn't quite accurate. It's somewhere around $5. Yeah, because I mean, I started basically with about $6, I guess. I started essentially with $500 earlier in the week. So up $6, which is great because that's like 1% of the account. And again, this is not a margin account. This is a cash account. I can only trade with a maximum of about 240, really technically like $250 a day, but I'm just trading 8% of that buying power on each trade, and that's it. So you know, you have to keep things in perspective. Still have GLSI up here just to see what it did. It looks like a lot of people FOMO bought it here in the aftermarket, so hopefully they make out okay. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Let me know if you have any questions or comments, and have a great day. Thanks.